Hi everyone, welcome back. And I ask you again to please click like and subscribe. Let's see how this Camaro body is looking today. So we did the little touch-ups. Still seeing some spots that we can touch up. That's our final paint job. Really wasn't our final paint job. But spoke a little too soon when I said it was the last paint job. I'm going to tilt this guy up because the roof here needs a little, so does the around the windshield needs a little. See that piece of tape I think is hanging over. There we go. I'm going to tilt it up. Okay, a little spray. Make sure there's no clogs. Looks good. Put that at a better angle for me. Just gonna go. There we go. Give it a little spin so we can get around the windshield. I don't want to do too much because we just sprayed that, so we don't want to. There we go. I was going to do a little bit under the body here. There was a little black showing through. I want to make sure it's a good coverage because we are going to sand that. I'm going to wet sand it to rough it up so we can put some gloss on it. Okay, I'm going to let that guy do his thing. Okay, it's the day after we painted. I had the blow dryer going for 24 hours. Let's take a peek and see how it's doing. Oops. Oh, nice. That's looking pretty well covered. So I think we can do a little wet sanding on this now. Paint should be good and hard. Now I'm going to put the hood back in so we can put some primer on there and then paint that. Okay, I'm going to do a little spray, make sure there's no clogs as usual. All right, we got that all primed. Let's close this up. I'll get the fan and the heat going, and I'll see you upstairs for some. Okay, we're back upstairs. I just want to show you now that we've got the engine in there and glue's all dried. That's in this, so we can start working on the assembly of the radiator, but first we're gonna sand this little puppy down. So I've got my little 800 grain sponge sandpaper, so it makes it a bit easier than having to keep the car wet because you keep the sponge wet. Got my sanding towel, got my disposable shop towel to keep wiping it down. After we'll wash it to get it completely ready for the gloss coat. Okay, so we got our water, we got our sandpaper. We don't really have to. I'm going to do a little wetting on the car with the non-sandpaper part. And once we do this, we'll be all set with our sandpaper holding most of the juice. All right. Now, a few videos ago, I talked about what it means to be a Christian, to be a believer in Christ, and to walk with Him. So, you know, I think I mentioned about love your neighbor. Before I forget, we're not going to really sand this. We're just going to do a few passes, you know, just to kind of rough it up lightly. We don't want to take all the white paint off, so we just want to get a little rough edge on it. Okay, now back. So, one man asked Jesus what it takes to be with the Father, and you know, Jesus asked him, "What do you think?" And he told him to love your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your strength, and he said also, love your neighbor as yourself. So, so Jesus went on to explain what it means to love your neighbor as yourself, and he used an example. Well, he told many parables. So he used an example of this man walking down the street, and a gang of robbers came upon him. They beat him. They stole everything he had. They stole his clothing, and he was left on the side of the road, pretty much to die, you know. And so we're just doing a little rough, right? So these different, I won't get into all the nationalities of these people. You want to be careful with the top edge here because it's easy to take off the paint. So anyway, some walked by and they crossed the road. They'd even want to be on the same side of the road with this man who was beaten, bloodied, and dying. And some other people came, same thing. They don't want to be on the same side of the road. And then you ever hear the term Good Samaritan? Well, this is where it comes from. And a Samaritan man, not necessarily somebody who everybody wanted to be friends with. Samaritans weren't everybody's favorite people. But he saw the man, and he walked up to him. He tended his wounds. He poured oil on him, you know, to help heal him. And he put him on his donkey, and he walked the donkey to an inn. And he brought the man in, and he asked the innkeeper. He fed him, clothed him, and he got him a room, and he was leaving. And not only did he do that, but when he left the innkeeper 2 denarii to pay for any more lodging or food that this beaten man might need. Not only did he leave it at that, but he told the innkeeper that when he returns, he will also pay him any more finances that it took to help this man. So I guess the moral of the story is love your neighbor is, you know, take care of them. You help them when they're in dire need. You know? I mean, how many people do we know who are, in a sense, battered and bruised on the side of the road, needing assistance, and everybody crosses the street so they don't have to be on the same side of the road with this person? What? I mean, I can't say I'm perfect, by all means, you know. I'm just going to wipe some of this off. You know, I think we all will essentially, if not literally, cross the road to be on the other side of the street, so we don't have to come face to face with anybody that we see on that side of the road that needs help. We don't ever want to deal with it. It's like, well, a lot of people say you made your bed, you lie in it. In some cases that might be true. But there are some cases they're in a situation where have no circumstances of their own. Some society can be pretty mean to people, pretty rotten. That's supposed to be the place of the church, right? I mean, as far as Christ is concerned, that's the place of the church. To love on people, to help people. So that should be not say philanthropy is a bad thing. It does help people, but I think you'd be more blessed if you did it for the right purpose. You know, sometimes we do things that are somewhat nice to people for our own selfish gain, whether it be notoriety or, you know, oh, look what he did, you know, kind of thing. But that's the wrong reasons. Should be doing out of serious love and care in honor of Christ, as he did for everybody. So that's pretty much the story of the Good Samaritan. Trust me, not everybody in those days, or even these days, want to hear. There are all kinds of reasons why people don't help somebody. Sure, not everybody is helpable. We do what we can, at least try to guide them in the right direction. There are going to be a couple of touch-up spots here. What I'm going to do, couple of spots that need a little touch up, like this little edge here. I'm just gonna wash this. I'm gonna brush it. Just that one spot. It's the only spot I can really see. All right, let's head towards the kitchen. Okay. Hopefully the camera's okay, because here we go. Hopefully the camera's okay, because I kind of got it teetered inconspicuously in a Mickey Mouse fashion. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little warm water on here. I just need some soft, gentle soap. I'm going to put a little on the car here. There we go. I'll grab a paper towel. I'm actually going to put a little bit more soap on the paper towel. Don't worry about how much suds you get, because I don't know if you know this, that the only reason why there are suds in soap is because it's aesthetically pleasing. Because we see suds, we think it's cleaning when it's actually the other ingredients that are doing the cleaning, not so much the stuff that makes the suds. Alright, I'm just going to rinse this really, really good. As you notice, I kept the tape in the windows. There is purpose for that. Didn't want to get any running sanding off into underneath. It's basically I'm too lazy to wash the whole thing. All right. We're basically all dry. Let's go sit down.